if you have a copyright, it's preserved for you for your lifetime and 50 years after, as an individual.
Hello and welcome to a new SG podcast episode where we will be welcoming Alharibat and talking about intellectual property. Welcome, Anas.
Welcome, Aous. Nice to be here.
Tell me a little bit about you first.
طيب, Anas Alharibat. I've been in consulting management for around 7 years. And why I'm sitting here, because of the last 2 projects I had, it had more of innovation and IP aspect. And more than happy to talk about intellectual property.
Okay, that's going to be interesting then. Tell me more about intellectual property. What is it exactly?
So it's basically, it's not well known as a term, and the awareness around it is let's say limited. If we want to define intellectual property, we can make it in a simple term. It's the creations of the mind that are used in commerce. So, and here we are talking about, for example, trademarks, patents, copyright, any artistic work, or even codes, program codes. So basically, it's the bridge. IP is the bridge between ideas and commerce.
Can you help me out a little bit in mapping all those terms? So we hear copyrights, we hear trademarks, we hear. Do you have like let's say, a cheat sheet?
Definitely. So just I'm gonna go step back and tell you more about the classification of IP. So basically, it's classified into 2, let's say, main clusters. So the first one, and the most known for, is the industrial classification, which includes the patents, the industrial designs, plant varieties, and the trademarks, and also trade secrets, and we will come to that later. Another cluster is the copyright. Copyright, basically, it's the artistic expressions, and we are here talking about paintings, photography, coding, writing novels, and basically the related rights also. So copyrights and related rights, and in related rights we are talking about the rights of performers.
So to what extent can we do something and copyright it? So just to give you an example, let's say I draw a circle and then I copyright that circle. Would it be considered copyrighted in itself, or can no one recreate my circle?
So it's, and here is the technicality part of it. The example you put is very generic, but it's not about a circle. It's about, who came with it first. Are you the first one who came up with a circle? And it's about the first person who comes with the artistic work. So for example, if you took a photo of a certain place, do you prevent anyone else from taking the same photo? Taking the same photo. It's not about copying the photo you have taken. So people can, or there can be some copying from certain aspects. If you produce a report, for example, and I want to cite that report, can I copy the whole report? Or there is, let's say, limits to citations. So, and these things are decided by the culture itself, and a country from another country, it differs. But usually when you cite, you don't copy the whole thing, and you do the reference. And this is the thing that copyrights want to protect, that this creation is Aous creation. So anyone is taking from it has to refer Aous and give him credit for what he created. Now, can I take your work and monetize it? This is the copyright or the IP side is giving you an exclusive right to use your creation of the map or to protect your expression. That's why no one can copy your, let's say, report and sell it, because you will go after him and sell him. And this is very interesting about copywriting. Copywriting, you don't have to register it in a way or another. You can register it. SAP registers certain types of copyright, but it's basically about who came first with the book, or who came first with the report or the photograph. If you provided evidence that you created this novel, or you created this, or you took this image and before someone came with it, then it's yours.
So allow me. So now we're talking about copyrights, and we have two sides, right? We have copyrights, and then whatever is industrial. We'll leave that a little bit for
And very
later.
interesting thing about the copyright also, it's if you have a copyright, let's say a report. I'm keeping using reports because it's what we produce as consulting companies. It's we basically produce copyright.
Yeah.
And the main IP we have is copyright, which is the reports, the deliverables, the let's say the manuals, the policies, procedures we produce for the clients are copyrights basically. So an interesting point is, if you have a copyright, it's preserved for you for your lifetime and 50 years after, as an individual. And for a company, it's for 50 years.
Okay.
And that's an interesting example is Disney. You know the Disney logo, the Mickey Mouse trademark and drawings are preserved for Disney, and they are one of the famous copyrights and well-known, characters for Disney. And they have set a strategy to keep the protection beyond 50 years, which is having not just the trademark, also updating the trademarks every now and then.
So let's take Disney as an example. For example, here, let's say Disney never actually copyrighted to start with, but they came with the logo, they published it, and they started using it. Does that, just the publishing on its
amazing.
own?
Now we are talking about logos as trademarks.
Okay.
It's a total different story.
So let's go back to the copyright.
But
before
let's about a copyright. Let's say they came with a character. They drawn a character.
Yeah.
Okay, but they the first. They were the first to draw that character. So no one can copy that character for 50 years because they are a company. Now I think the copyright ended in 2024 or 2020s. Now, what are the measures Disney is putting to prevent people from using the character design they have? Now it comes, the solution lays within the trademark. It's part of the trademark. So if you are using the same character, they can sue you for utilizing their trademark because it's essential part of their trademark.
So let me go a step back. I think we went into details a little bit into copyrights and trademarks, but I want to take a step back about, let's say, global law. So I know that if you register a trademark or copyright, you register it within an entity. Let's say in Saudi Arabia, you have a SAIP, right? Does this automatically become protected worldwide? If I create a novel, or SG, for example, creates a report and it is a copyright, can someone in the US, for example, use it? Or let's say not US, let's say Myanmar or Malaysia. What protects
That's an amazing question, and it's one of the pitfalls in understanding IP. So some people or some entities think that if I register it here locally, or in US or in Jordan, for example, it's going to be protected all over, which is the answer is no. You should register within the geographies you are going to operate. And this is a strategic decision because registration has fees. And when you are, for example, I'm operating locally in Saudi Arabia, and I'm not thinking of expanding. The demand is good, my business is doing well, I'm going to just be in Saudi Arabia. So khalas, you just going to register in Saudi Arabia and protect your trademark in Saudi Arabia. Now, let's say you are expanding in 10 years regionally. then you have to register in UAE, Jordan, Egypt, worldwide. And it depends also on your market. Let's say that you produce, your market is in Kenya and US. Do you need to register in all Africa? No, you just register in Kenya, you register in US, because these are the demanding markets that you need to, let's say, leverage and protect your products in, and deny any competitors copying your trademark or even products and patents.
So it's a little bit of a strategic decision then, because let's say I create a company that is extremely successful in Saudi, and I did not think of expanding before. So someone could have protected that trademark before me in, for example, the UAE, and I myself would not be able to expand my trademark there, correct?
100%. Let me give you an example. Burger King.
Yeah.
They expanded into Australia.
And there was already a Burger King trademark.
Exactly.
Yes. And I think this is why until today, if I'm not mistaken, the name is still not Burger King?
I think they are operating under another name. I'm not sure, to be honest, but it prevented them from using their trademark. Now, if I'm Burger King, I have to operate under another trademark, and I can't use my brand because I'm well known as Burger King, not other brands.
Let me go a little bit more towards industrial design. Let's say even, obviously, if I create a new invention, and I'm not going to trademark it, of course, I'm going to create a patent for that
or
new creation.
An industrial design.
Okay. So the patent and industrial design are also protected only in geographical areas. Is that correct?
True.
But then this would not prevent someone of buying my product, reverse engineer it, and go somewhere in another country, create it. So this again goes back to that same strategic decision to actually make it global if I think my invention will be global.
Exactly. If you have an amazing invention and you believe that you can benefit certain customers, where are your customers at? Is it US, Europe? Is it here in Saudi? Is it both? So you have to go, and you are expanding there, you have to go and protect because you need to monetize.
Yeah.
If you are not producing or manufacturing, you need to give license or franchise, or but mostly it's licensing. I'm giving you the rights to use my patent or produce it. So yeah, it's a very strategic decision. And let me go, or let's have an understanding about the patent and the industrial designs and what's the difference between both of them. Basically, patents is about having an exclusive right to use an invention. Tamam. Industrial designs, also it's exclusive, but it differs than the patent. The industrial design is about the aesthetics and the shape of the invention. It's not about the function. Patents are more about the function itself. So they protect the function, not the appearance. But the patent generally, it includes also the design. But the design, as industrial design itself, it just protects the appearance. And a famous example is the water bottling market. You can see that they focus on the design of the bottle itself, and they register it because this is how their product is identified, and this is how they differentiate themselves. Now, if you have Nova, for example, they have the famous drop design. And you can, right away say, oh, okay, that's Nova product. And other companies, they differ in the design itself because there is no function that you need to protect in water. It's the design itself. Now, the patent has many applications. Bluetooth is a patent. USB-C is a famous patent. The credit cards we use is a patent. And it's one of the oldest patents, 1960, I believe, by an engineer in IBM. So patents are more about the function. Industrial designs are about the shape. And industries differ. Some rely on designs, and some rely on the patents.
So I want to move into impact, but one last question before we go to impact is about the patent itself or the industrial design. what are the differentiators that are enough for me to say this is not infringing on someone's patents? I'll give you an example. Let me take a bottle of water and I'll create the exact same design of a known industrial design, but I'll add 2 millimeters to the top. Is that enough for me to say I am not infringing on their patents, or
Exactly.
how does this work?
That's why patents are way more difficult to infringe than designs. As you said, you can change certain dimensions and خلاص, your design is different than the other design. But it's more than that. It's there is a new case, you know, Birkenstock.
Yes.
The Birkenstock has this, let's say, sandal design, and it's well known.
I would believe in this case we have a patent and an industrial design.
No.
Correct?
It's also a design. Now, they went to the origins. There's another company, I don't want to say it's well-known brand also. They have produced the similar product. And Birkenstock sued them. The design, you can say it differentiates in millimeters or centimeters or some aspects of the design, but the originality itself, it's originated from Birkenstock. And Birkenstock lawyers were smart about it, and it's registered for them. And they prevented the other company of producing their product because it's infringing their product.
Although it was a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit different, but it's about also sometimes the origin and the story behind it and the aesthetics behind it. So when you look at the two products, you will assume that these are Birkenstock products. They are not other companies' products. And for designs, I think designs are protected for 15 years, compared with patents, 20 years, compared with trademarks. Trademarks, you can have a trademark forever because every 10 years you have to renew, it's renewable. So one of the strategies companies do, they merge the trademark with the design, with the patents. So it's become a landmine for other companies here to step on, and which is the thing you want to get out of IP. Now this is why IP is important. IP is basically a tool that protects your invention and give you exclusivity of utilizing and monetizing your product or invention. And it creates a niche for you for a certain amount of time, so you can benefit and, you know, have this return on your investment, designing and, you know, prototyping and working on a product to make, you know, this patent. And after 20 years, if nothing changes, other can copy the patent you have.
I just had a thought. So I know that copyright is protected when it comes to business use, right? So,
Yes,
for example,
it is.
if you have a novel and I copy it for myself.
Not if you have a novel also. If you have, let's say, a manual.
Yes.
And you share the manual with some vendors, and you knew that these vendors are copying the manual and, you know, use it internally, you can sue them for that because you came with the manual.
But because this is for a business reason. But what if they used it for non-business reason? Does it still apply? If
no.
I take a manual?
Yeah, let me give you an example.
And I think an example on both, on a copyright, but also on a
patent,
for example.
Let me give you an example we can all relate to. If I bought your book, tamam, this is Aous Chazel book, I bought it and I copied it. I had a printed copy. Am I infringing or violating your right?
I think no. You have bought it using money. That money came to me or to a license.
But I printed it.
Tamam. So you bought a PDF version.
I bought a PDF. Version. I printed the PDF.
Mm-hmm.
Tamam. I bought, I think, the rights to have a PDF. Tamam, and utilize the PDF. But I don't have basically, I can copy the PDF on my devices. Tamam. I can also print the PDF. But can I sell it? Can I benefit from it? Can I share it and harm you? You know, and harm your sales? This is the thing. I can use it internally. I can take notes. I can print it. It's fair use.
It is fair for you to print it because
For my benefit to use
you have already paid for the version that you are using.
Yes, but it's not legal to share it on a massive scale, sell it, resell it, because this is your right, because you have the product.
What about a patent? Let's say, just as an example, there is a new device and you have the know-how of creating it at home. You have not bought it and you have created it for your use. Let's say for whatever reason, I knew you did that. Can I sue you? You did not sell it. You did not profit for it other than your own usage.
No, but what's the point of suing me? I'm not gonna harm your products. I'm not gonna take anything of your market share. This comes in mind when I'm gonna sue someone because they are benefiting from my product. Let me give you an example about the patents and patent copying. In Saudi, let's take pharmaceuticals, for example. Local pharmaceutical companies, they wait, some companies, they don't have the R&D team to produce, these advanced, let's say, medicine solutions. What they do is they wait until a patent can be utilized by other entities, which is around 20 years.
A patent cannot be renewed.
Exactly. A patent cannot be renewed. But what companies do is they update the patent. Well, we have this feature, we have that feature.
But the old one can still be used.
Exactly.
Okay.
They can use the same. And patents are public. If you can read, let's say, the Bluetooth patent, and you can reverse engineer it, and you can use it. But the Bluetooth is خلاص, it's 20 years are done and there is no exclusivity.
But now you have Bluetooth 5.5,
exactly,
6 and all of that.
Exactly. This is what we are talking about. USB 3, USB-C, and these version updates, because the market is dynamic and market is updating. So there is no point of you copying the patent if there is something is new coming. Unless you are interested in that market, or you have a vision that the market will be there, and I'm gonna tap in that market. So patents are public, and people can reverse engineer or can use, but it's difficult. The purpose of patent, that I want to patent it, so anyone can know it, but no one can produce it unless I give him the license to. So I want to monetize. So that's the main thing. It's protection, monetizing, and it's IP is associated with intangible assets.
Yeah.
Previously, and it's a driver of the valuation of companies. Previously, we are talking about 1960s, 70s. Valuation of companies depended on the tangible assets. Now we are in the intangible assets era. Around or more than 90% of the valuation of SP 500s, more than 90% are intangible assets. The brand, the reputation, the trademarks, the portfolio of patents they have. So now we are in an economy of ideas and innovation rather than assets.
So now that we're in the thinking about economies, allow me to play the devil's advocate just for a little bit. Wouldn't removing all of that open the door for, a freer market, definitely, but a lot more competition? So what is the impact, really? Let's say that we have a market where you cannot patent anything, you cannot copyright anything. Wouldn't that be moving the market even more?
I think it will be, that's a great question. I think it will be limiting, because if anyone can copy anyone, what's the point of innovation? I'm just gonna start copying anyone just to make money, which limits on the long run. We are limiting the market. But if you are giving a credit for people who spend on research, design, development, testing, they are gonna produce something that really beneficial and tailored to the, let's say, pains and gains of the customers, then people who just go around and copy and sell. So I believe that you will harm the innovation area much doing that. So to your questions, the short answer, it's gonna be very limiting. People are gonna just copy from each other. It will limit very much innovation.
So talk to me a little bit about the IP ecosystem overall in Saudi Arabia. I know that, or I am thinking at least, it has evolved in the past few years. How does it affect the evolution of Saudi Arabia as a market overall?
So, as we have been discussing, we are becoming in a world of intangible assets, which are the drivers of valuation. And you mentioned, what if we are operating in an IP-free market? There is no registrations. The issue with that also is the investors and the big companies, which they have innovations that wanna participate in your market, but they are not protected. I'm having an amazing invention that I spend millions and millions, hundreds of millions on. I'm gonna expand to Saudi or any other regional company, but it's not. The market is not structured. IP system is not structured. I don't know if I'm gonna be protected or not. I don't know if my product is gonna be copied. Maybe I'm gonna lose this market share, or this market. Why do I have to move in then? So the system is the IP system attracts investors. It provides them with, let's say, the structure to enforce also, basically to protect their innovation and create value. So how the ecosystem now is shaping in Saudi Arabia, if we can see that from, let's say, a global indicator, which is the Global Innovation Index by WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. It's part of the UN. In 2020, you can see Saudi, I think, in 66th place in the Innovation Index. Now you can see Saudi in 2025 moved 20 position. It's a massive jump. Why that happened? The indicator is about measuring, it's about innovation. How we measure innovation. They divided the measurement of innovation into inputs and outputs. Basically, if you want to make it simple, outputs is the way you can see that innovation happened. And how you can see innovation happened? A patent. Yeah. It basically tells you a story that there is, R&D or prototyping or whatever activities happened, and we have a patent. So this is the output. Inputs are infrastructure, educational system, let's say the business sophistication in general. And Saudi has, jumped 20 positions, and it's moving steadily. It's improving, and looking from the Vision 2030 as a driver for this, this jump, Saudi launched the national IP strategy, which has main 4 pillars. Let's say generating IP, respecting the IP, which is protecting the IP, and commercializing an IP. And the 4th factor is about the management of IP. And when we refer to management, we are talking about registration, efficiency of registration within Saudi.
The operation
behind, going to SAPE, Saudi Authority of Intellectual Property, having the documents, registering the documents, because one of the things in patents, they take time. Some patents take 12 months review and evaluation.
And this is why we see patent pending.
Exactly.
They start
with 36 months, and it depends on the sophistication. So if I'm gonna have, let's say, innovation in biomedical, I have to have a biomedical engineer to check, is this patent novel? Nothing has happened as innovative as this one.
Does it have to work?
Exactly.
If I'm patenting something, does it have to actually
One
work?
of the conditions for me to consider your patent is a patent, or for a patent to be considered as a patent, it has to have utility. So it has to be, it can be used and manufactured. There is 3 main conditions. Novelty. Tamam. You are the first comer. You just came with this invention. an inventive step. They call it the inventive step, which is no one working in that niche or in that area came around that invention by doing his day-to-day job. So it required, investigation, studies, research, development, prototyping. It required effort. It's complicated or sophisticated to reach to the invention. And the last thing is utility, which is it should be able to be manufactured and used. Exactly.
It has to be used.
It has to be used. Yes, that's how you can call it a patent. Now, another interesting aspect of patents is the trade secrets. So, in certain markets, publicity of patents is not the thing you want to happen, because markets are dynamic. Some patents are easy to design around, and it's the safest thing to do is to keep it as a trade secret.
So the trade secret in comparison to the patent is secret. It cannot be published.
It's a secret. No one knows about it.
But do you actually have to register it, or does it?
No. There's nothing called registration, because
okay. So the trade secret is like Coca-Cola having the recipe inside the vault and the full story.
Exactly, 100%.
Let's say, just as an example, pretend that I buy, I don't know, a cake that you create, and it's a very famous cake. It's red and it's written in white, and it's a famous one. I take it into my lab and I do some,
reverse engineering,
and I understand how it's made and I recreate it. I am not legally liable because you have never actually registered your trade secrets. So this is interesting, because I think that in many areas, with at least the science that we now have, it's very easy to actually reverse engineer 99% of the products. So I think there's a marketing side to a trade secret as well.
Yes, but reverse engineering is really complicated. It's not in some certain areas. It's not easy. When you are talking about pharmaceuticals, it's a complex area. But the point is the market is so dynamic, and it keeps changing. Trade secrets. Let me give you an industry that use trade secrets. Is the tech industry. Now, you know that patents need 12 to 36 months to be registered, and you had the certificate. In three years, your technology may got obsolete. So you are wasting efforts and money to monetize, while others came with other solutions that replaced your invention. So that's why in tech you will see more of trade secrets.
So
you can't see other than trade secrets.
It might be more profitable to you.
Exactly,
to keep it
not
secret,
to tell anyone about it.
Do it. Hope no one can reverse engineer it until you reach the second version, the third version, and it becomes obsolete.
No one can reverse engineer it. Also, when I'm licensing or I'm giving my trade secret, it should be protected by laws, NDAs, let's say legal formalities that still protects you. But this is the thing with the trade secrets. Sometimes they are in a very dynamic market. They can be replaced. It doesn't make it's not feasible for them to register it. So that's why, and it's easy to design around. So that's why they keep it as a secret. And the famous examples are the Coca-Cola or KFC recipe.
Thank you so much, Anas, for joining us today. Thank you for watching this, and see you next time.